Xbox. They know how each other play. They know how to get under each other's skin. That first leg, FaZe TASS did slightly edge it 5 goals to 4. The second leg, let's get straight into it, Brandon.
Well, here they are. This is the two guys here waiting to jump back into that first game. The thing that I'm most interested about, these two have definitely played against each other as sparring partners coming into this competition. Surely they need a plan C, or we might even have to go down to a plan D of how they're going to break each other up, because they're going to know what each other are good at and what each other suffer at.
You could say that, but also I think when you're a player of this quality, I think you're quite stubborn to change your gameplay, change your gameplay or change your game style. You're just going to play the way you play because you believe that you're good enough to beat anybody in this competition, as both of these players have proven. TASS, regional winner in Paris last year. Gorilla is a current world champion.
Well, leg 2, TASS in that white icon strip from left to right, and Gorilla in that lime green kit once again. Only 1 goal separates these two, but the man that has the advantage at the moment is TASS.
Is Gorilla getting us underway? Can he get something straight from kickoff? No, he cannot, and gets a free kick all the way back. These free kicks are quite dangerous, though, if you can win the first flick on.
You can flick it on with a player like Ronaldo, or maybe that's going to line up for a finesse on the edge of the box, but we saw it there. Dito won his game against Marv, another German player, but Dito, he didn't really impress me that much in the Swiss style format. Went 4 and 3, just got through, but one thing he does, he's a clever player. He's been around this scene for years. He plays a slow style of play as well.
He plays a very slow style of play, he keeps possession, he doesn't concede a lot of goals as well. TASS looking to break the deadlock in this game. Fantastic bit of defending from Rio.
And as you said, one thing he doesn't do, he doesn't run or sprint around. He didn't do it last year, in fact, in his own half. He waits for his opposition to come at him and he says, we said, how do you play? How do you play a game? What's your tactics? He said, I change it every game depending on my player. TASS now, Hullet, saved by De Gea.
Yeah, just straight into the body of David De Gea. He won the first flick on there. Henry into CR7.
This is round of 16 action. Whoever wins this game has guaranteed themselves a place in the playoffs. But this game has got a long road ahead of it. 5-5 the score now.
Yeah, that was just, if you hold L2 and then just press the fake shot in the direction that you're moving, you'll do the same move that Gorilla just executed there. Left Sergio Ramos for dead. Low driven across the goalkeeper, and that's why Prime Henry is so clinical in front of goal.
Let's remember as well that in that first game, Gorilla was 2 goals up to 0. TASS came back 2-2, went to 5-2, I believe, and then Gorilla brought it back to 5-4 in the end, so only 1 goal behind. He needed 1 goal to get back in this game. We said 1 goal is nothing at this level. And how long has it taken? 10 minutes in game to get 1 goal?
Yeah, you see this chance there. The reason that chance for Gorilla came so quickly is because he was absolutely spamming the offside trap from kickoff to get his players all the way up to the pretty much halfway line, just to squeeze TASS into giving the ball away.
You saw what he was trying to do there, just trying to feed that ball through to Henry, but had the wrong idea. Obviously, a big fan of that Henry card is TASS, as you know, an Arsenal fan. Chance to get in front. What a save, and more importantly, I think De Gea just got something on that to take the power out of the ball, and Ramos was lucky enough to be in the correct position to clear that one.
Ramos cleaning up the danger, as he often does. The 97 team of the year Ramos advantage for TASS. Currently tied up at 5-all in this game, and there's a lot riding on this game, Brandon.
There is indeed. 2 friends in the scene, 2 sparring partners, you could say as well. They've both been on a journey. They've both been here since the start of FUT Champions, went live last year, and they've been amongst it every week.
More importantly, there is a bracket place up for grabs. This is a round of 16 fixture. The winner will book their place at the playoffs later on in the year. The loser will have to try and find another way, Brandon.
They will indeed. Chance now for TASS. He was trying to line up the shot. That's not going to be a free kick. It's going to be play on instead. But if you want to get to an event like this, there's another event in April. We don't know where it is yet, but if you want to get there, you need to be in the top 64 on PlayStation or Xbox for the month of February. AK next weekend, I believe it starts.
Next weekend is when it all kicks off yet again for these pros.
Here we go. This could be something clever now. Rebound. Surely a little bit fortunate, but at this time in the tournament, a goal is a goal.
Yeah, they often say when your luck's in, your luck is very much in there. TASS, you can see, very upset that didn't manage to clear the ball. Came off De Gea, straight into R9. He thought he'd done enough there, did TASS. swivel shot into the back of the net, and 6-5. We've seen Gorilla take the lead, we've seen TAS take the lead. Can either of these two hold a lead? Right now it looks like penalties is the only way to separate these two, if neither of these players actually take control of the game.
One thing that TAS needs to remember is that he was in front by 3 goals before. At the same time, Gorilla's been in front. Both these two, they're both capable of scoring goals, and lots of them as well.
See there in the top left, Ronaldinho, 100% possession, 100% pass accuracy for TAS. Both of the players are using the prime 94 Ronaldinho.
As we know, FIFA is a long game, and a 1-goal advantage means nothing for these two. Vieira now on the edge, waiting to maybe line up a shot if he can. Plays back inside to Ronaldo. Maybe just recycle out wide, will he? Doesn't really need to. And he's just going to just play around with the ball, just on the edge of this box, waiting for that little inch of space. And then here it is. There's the finesse. Oh, it wasn't even a finesse. But I said he's waiting for that inch of room to score. Gorilla's thinking, I shouldn't have given that bit of time.
You can see TAS there shaking his head. He just wants to rally after this goal now. Finesse from the edge of the box. What a finish it was from R9. He's got everything, this man. Top corner, very similar placement to the free kick we saw earlier on in the broadcast. Playing the Hunter chemistry style on him, so he's improving the pace and the shooting of R9. He's already got 93 pace and 93 shooting. So you're probably looking at unbelievable 99s probably across the board.
And a man and a lot of attention, especially in the German scene. Sackle, this newcomer, you could say, part of Stark Esports, remember. He beat Dax 9 goals to 6 over the 2 legs. So that man is through after the perfect Swiss round, and you could say the perfect tournament at the moment. Overall, over the 2 legs, he hasn't lost a game.
Very tough opponent as well in Dax.
That was David De Gea. Needs to be called into action there with his feet save trait. That one goes into the box, front post flick on if he can. Maldini will just do enough, but we're approaching half-time slowly. And we are all square here. Literally, I can't call this one.
And we've got another result just coming in. Hashtag Ryan from Hashtag United, the only Hashtag United player left in the competition, beat Crafty 4 goals to 2. So he will be booking a place in the playoffs later in the year. He will be facing the winner of Kurt versus Tex.
Wow, that could be DH Tex, a youngster again, only 16 years old from the UK. One of the newcomers, you could say. Could he have a shell story if he continues playing in this way?
We just had confirmation that that playoff game, Kurt did clinch the spots.
So he's on for the run. So Kurt won that, did you say? Looks like he could be going through. Chance, routine, oh, just over the bar. 6-6 on the score now. And we're approaching half-time slowly. We're still waiting to hear who won that game between Kurt and DH Tex, but waiting for them in the quarter-finals, and it's important to remember that Hashtag Ryan has got himself into the playoffs in June.
He will be there, Brandon. Kurt and Tex. Kurt, earlier on in the tournament, that's what I was trying to say, has already beaten DH Tex 5-4 with a 90th minute winner, so he might have a bit of a mental edge going into that playoff game.
But these guys have gone home last night. I remember looking at, I think it was Phil, SKS and Marla. Last night I saw a tweet, they were both looking back at their gameplay, analysing it. What could I have done better here? What could I have done better there? And it wouldn't surprise me if all of these guys were doing that last night to become better. Yeah,
it's much more than just a game. You've got to prepare. I often say, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail, Brandon. You've got to look at your opponents. You've got to realise how they play the game. You've seen Gorilla here playing the 5 at the back to match up against TAS. It's just something that he knows that TAS will play.
Well, Antonio Valencia's out of position now. No, TAS does play a 5 at the back, but out of that right wing back position. There, the 5 at the back seems to be working okay for TAS, because look, the issue you have with 5 at the back is you're missing out an extra man in that midfield. One man's having to do, you could say, 2 jobs. Yeah, stats very even between these two. TAS slightly edging the possession, 54% to 46. But we've played a game and a half now, and we're still nothing to separate these two, Brandon. As I said, I don't think you can call this one. 6-6. They both score goals, and they both concede them. Yeah, when we saw the bracket, it was a mouth-watering tie between these two in the round of 16. And I'm sure it's got a lot of eyes on it right now between TAS
and Gorilla. What does either of these two need to try and do in the second leg, in this second half of the second leg, to just try and take a slight advantage?
I think the biggest point is, Richard, is when you get that goal, you need to build on another one. Do not sit back and try and defend it. Kind of like Ajax Danny style last year. Score, score, score.
Yeah, because we know Gorilla, if he does concede, he will go to a 3-4-2-1. He will push players forward. We've seen it yesterday when against Fenomeno. That leaves a lot of space in behind. And if Tass is playing the 5 at the back, maybe he can just sit off and really try and counter him, exploit the space in behind.
Well, what about this for a result? DH Tech's 5, Kurt 1. I'm not sure if that's the final score there, but he's won one game. Chance, oh! Gorilla is back in front now, and I've heard that DH Tech's has won again.
DH Tech's 5, Kurt 1. Kurt is out of the competition. 5 goals to 1 Tex. This 16-year-old is making a name for himself. That means he will play #Ryan in the quarterfinals. Huge result for DH Tech's. Wow.
You've got to remember, it's his first major event.
He's 16 years old.
Sometimes we say you need LAN event experience, or sometimes you're fearless. You've got no organisation behind you. You might not have many fans behind you, but I tell you now, that's a star in the making. After this event, everyone will know about DH Tech's.
What a result that is. There's no bigger scoop at the minute for Kurt. He was showing great consistency, was Kurt, throughout the tournament. It beat Phil SKS 9-2. Do you think that could have potentially phased him? He had such a comfortable game before coming into this one against DH Tech's.
Well, I did speak to Kurt, and he said, yeah, I won the game, that first leg against Phil SKS 6-1, but he said he wasn't that happy with the performance, and obviously he won the second game 3-1 as well, so he did score 9 goals over the course of that game. Chance now for Gorilla, heavy touch around the keeper, doesn't need to, chips him instead, and now we have a bit of daylight, we have a breakthrough, a 2-goal advantage for Gorilla. Yeah, you can see Tass there. It's a grin. I don't think it's a grin of enjoyment, I think it's more of a, how were I 5-2 up in the first leg? How have I thrown this away to be 6-8 down? 8-6 down. Playing 5-2-1-2, both of the players. Well, surely there's going to have to be a change. Gorilla's actually changed formation. In the first leg, he was playing 5-2-1-2. Now he's playing 4-1-2-1-2, something he's more comfortable with, the narrow formation. I was speaking to Mohamed El Basha, ex-FIWC 2016 champion. He said in the 4-1-2-1-2, it's the fullbacks that really do push on. They give you the width, and then you've pretty much got 5 central players who can dominate the game. Well, surely I can see here, you can just see on the screen, it looks like a free at the back for Tass. He needs goals. Yeah, he needs them now. And this is a similar formation he played earlier on in the tournament, the 3-5-2, when he was 5-1 down in that first leg. He switched to the 3-5-2, and he played it for the entire second leg, and he beat him 6-1. Well, there's 2 ways this can go now. Tass gets 2 goals back, or Gorilla can get Tass on the counter-attack. He's only got 3 at the back now, so expect maybe a bit of width. There's going to be space in behind. It's as simple as that. With Gorilla playing the 4-1-2-1-2, he can exploit the space in behind. If you think Tass is playing 3 central defenders, Gorilla's got a cam and 2 strikers, always in that final third. It's going to be very easy for him to 1-2 past Tass with the 3 at the back. But if Tass gets a goal, maybe 2 goals, he's going to switch back to the 5. Well, here comes Gorilla again, obviously in that lime green kit. If you have just joined, this is the FUT Champions Cup in Barcelona, and it's finals day, round of 16. And what a game this is turning out to be. In my opinion, Tass had to make more of that kickoff there. We know that you do often get a chance from kickoff. He had to try and create something. He's still got the ball, 61 minutes gone. There's plenty of time left for Tass to get back into this game. Plenty of time, and I know it's a 2-goal margin. The question is now, the next goal's key, really, Richard. Gorilla gets it, he gets a little bit of breathing space, because 3 goals is good, but against high-quality players, like the 2 we have here, it's really tough for them. Going back to that game between D-Tex and Kurt, 5-1 the scoreline. That was the exact same scoreline that Kurt lost in the semi-finals of FIWC Munich, when he played someone who we didn't really know a lot about. Maybe 5-1's just a scoreline that Kurt loses by. Ronaldo, chance! Goal. And there's a goal out of nowhere. Tass building his way back into this game. 7-6, he now, 8-7. Correct. 8-7, he now does And you can see on the replay there, a typical finish we've been used to seeing over the weekend in Barcelona. But still 1 goal separates these two, and Gorilla is still in the lead. Two UK players going at it in Barcelona.
Going at it, hammer for Tong. If you score, I will score. It's very simple. But TASS with the 3 at the back, just going to keep on pushing on. He has to try. There's one thing that Gorilla doesn't do, and that's hold the lead, really. He will just keep on attacking. He will try and score, just outscore his opponent, as simple as that. I referenced it earlier on, 2011-12 Manchester City under Roberto Mancini. We don't really care about the defending. We're just going to try and keep on scoring.
At the end of the day, a win is a win. No matter how you get it, Richard, a win is a win at this level as well. Ronaldo now.
And we thought there were a lot of goals in this game, Brandon. Megabit has just beat Phenomenal 13-8. The man is slowly starting to creep back to that November form.
He has conceded 8, don't get me wrong, but as you said, as long as you get the win, that's all that matters. We spoke to him before the event. He said at some point, I will be on fire, and it's going to be an all-German clash in the quarterfinals. Sakal, the newcomer onto the scene. Actually, 2 Stark Esports players going out. Obviously, Megabit from VFL Bochum.
What a game that is.
That's going to be a massive game.
15 minutes left for TASS to get 1 more goal to force extra time, but it's Gorilla doing the pressing.
15 goals we've seen in this game between 2 of the UK's best players, you could say.
Good tackle from Ramos, because TASS had initiated the run there on the overlap. Vieira caught out position, chance for Gorilla.
Just trying to time it perfectly. Back post, look at that back post ball. Does it need it? Maybe he does. And just a little bit too far out from Ronaldo, but it's attacking it over yet. Edge of the box, pull it, that one's blocked. Second time of asking, and surely that goal has sent Gorilla not just into the playoffs in June, but into the quarterfinals in Barcelona.
But more importantly, that means pretty much that TASS will be eliminated from the competition. Unless we see something spectacular in the last 10 minutes from TASS, that looks like it's game, set, and match for Unilad Gorilla.
Well, it's in Gorilla's hands now.
I like what
he's got 2 holding midfielders in there now, which can just potentially see out the game for him. Acts as anchors, extra defenders as well.
Another result coming in. Janos has beaten Wendell Lira 9-5. So that's Janos booked his place in the playoffs later on in the year. I like the change of formation there from Gorilla. Really tightening up. He knows TASS is good enough to get back into this game. He switched to the 4-2-3-1, put the 2 CDMs in front of the back 4, and really try and anchor that defence.
Speaking back to that, obviously Spider-Kong played against Piquil, or known as Wendell Lira from Brazil. He beat Spider-Kong 7-4, came up against the Colombian Janos, and Janos went there against Wendell Lira and got himself a result. That man has been known for a long time in the scene, Janos from Colombia.
2011 FIFA Interactive World Cup grand finalist was Janos, Brandon. He's been around for a long time. He knows how to deal with the pressure at an event like this. And he's dealing with the pressure fantastically during the Barcelona FUT Champs Cup.
Well, 16 goals we've seen in this fantastic game of the round of 16 over on the Xbox side. Chance now, Gorilla, can he go free up?
There we have it.
He does.
Game, set, and match. Unilad Gorilla 6-2 in the second leg. That's 10-6 on aggregate.
And you can see that again. I like that from Gorilla. He could have sat back, as we said. Could have sat back and thought, right, I'm going to try and defend this lead. He didn't. He wants another goal. And this is what we say about Gorilla. He can turn it on whenever he wants.
He even spoke about it himself in the interview. He said, at these events, I might not come in with the best of form, but when I get here, I know how to play the game. It all comes flooding back to me. 10-7, Gorilla leads.
And surely, Richard, that is game over, unless there's a miracle out there somewhere. The FAZE TASS. They'll be disappointed that they came up against each other, but the juicer seed-ins and the score they got.
If TASS comes back to this, if TASS scores 2 goals in the next 3.5 minutes of FIFA time, that's probably about 15 seconds.
Well, if he can get a goal before added time, as you said, and if he gets the added time of 3 minutes, there may be a chance for him.
Gorilla would have to lose the ball from kickoff on 2 separate occasions.
Well, never say never.
Let's see what happens. I imagine he's just going to keep the ball, pass it around the back. Tass is going to have to win it back. He's probably on all-out attack. He's playing the offside trap, I imagine, trying to squeeze his players up the pitch. You can see him diving in.
Looks like Gorilla will be taking the win here as the time slowly starts to count down. Added time to come of 3 minutes. As we said, if he had the ball, he could have had a chance to score. But we are getting to the quarter-final stages now. Another goal for Gorilla. 19 scored in this game. Is this man starting to come alive now?
In the later stages of the competition, we often say Gorilla starts slow, and then as the weekend progresses, he picks up and then hits his best form on Championship Sunday. And that's exactly what Unilad Gorilla has done once again in Barcelona. What a performance. 7-3 against Tass.
And he'll be in the quarter-finals, and he'll be happy to know he is in the playoffs again in June. Let's remember there's 16 spots there, 8 PlayStation, 8 Xbox. If you win your round of 16 game, you're in the playoffs in June. No one knows where it is yet. And for the other players, it'll be back to the drawing board. February qualifying month, get yourself to the next event. There goes the full-time whistle. Commiserations to FAZE TASS. I'm sure they'll be good friends too after this, sparring partners as well. But Gorilla does pick up the win in the end.
Yeah, you can see Tass there, head in hands moment. Very upset, but Unilad Gorilla all smiles with the Unilad organisation there behind him, cheering him on and supporting him. What a performance that was, really showing why he is the champion.
We really didn't know which way that game was going to go. It was so tight, wasn't it? Until at least, I'd say, the second half of that game. Gorilla got 2 goals, then got a 3-goal advantage. Tass got 1 back, and then in the end, there was nothing there for him. But let's have a look at some of the replays from that game as it went down. Obviously, Gorilla was in that lime green kit.